Welcome back! Woo! So for the ones who don't know me yet, my name is Sinja. I'm a travel consultant, living, breathing, loving Kenya. And I chose over 9 years ago to leave my country in Germany, to move to Kenya. And now I'm an independent travel consultant, influencer, travel around and help you guys to plan your trip to Kenya so that you are not overwhelmed, stressed out, scared or feeling unsafe while planning your trip. So let's get into this, and of course hit the subscribe button if you think like, oh my god, this is so cool and more people should know about this channel so that more people can get this help. In today's episode I want to talk about the last tips and tricks. Everything you need to organize like around 2 weeks before your flight comes to Kenya, before your safari is starting. And I know this feeling. I have been there myself. Like when I came the first time to Kenya, I mean it's a long time ago, but I had no clue. Actually the first time I traveled to Africa was to Ghana. And it's the same, it's a similar feeling. It's a new continent, it's a new country. You'll be like, oh my god, you have literally no clue about what is to come. And that's exactly why I chose to make this video, to help you get relaxed and get everything organized. So you can take a pen and paper to make some notes, and also before I forget, I have a free Kenya travel checklist which everything is written down from A to Z what you have to organize. So there are a few points I'm mentioning now, but also another few points, and it's just like in a PDF document and it's for free, so you can find the link down below in the description as well. But let's get started. The first thing and the most annoying thing most likely is like the entry requirements and like the official things you have to do before you come to this country. And yes, you most likely will need an online visa, especially if you're coming from the US or America, from Europe, Australia, like most of my clients. I think I'm getting so dark, let me remove this. So what you have to do is, it does not take long to apply for your online visa, and it's not a difficult thing. But if you have time, do it as early as possible, like start around 2 weeks before your trip. Latest, I would say 3 days before you fly, because they can take their time. If you're unlucky, you get your visa after 1 day, mostly it's like 48 hours. So just calculate, give yourself 72 hours, and then you will have your visa after your successful payment. But there are a few tips and tricks, I would say, when it comes to filling out your A-visa, because I had so many complaints and scams and things going on. And one thing is that you need to go to the right webpage. So I made some notes. The right webpage is avisa.go.ke. No other official webpage is there for A-visa, please. So screw all the others. There are scammers out there, and your A-visa, like your single entry to Kenya, should cost you $50 USD plus like $1 or $2 like a procedure fee, but not more than that. So just have that in mind. So that's number one. Then you might find like difficulties when you upload your PDF documents or your things online, because they don't accept PDF. So what they want is just like the picture format, a JPEG or even screenshots. That's fine. Just upload the document as a screenshot and that's fine. That's okay. Another question I get all the time is like, who needs a visa? Like, everyone needs a visa who's above 16. So if you're traveling with your family and your kids and they're like 16 or below 16, then you don't need a visa. And of course, not every country needs a visa, like some African countries don't need, but you can just get this information online. The best thing is you just go to the official webpage and then you find all the information you need right there. And I had some of my clients like really getting frustrated with the payment, like they filled everything was okay, all the files were uploading, and then they edit their credit card things, and then it's not going through. So what I was told, and it's actually working, just change your browser. If you're in Chrome, go to Firefox, go to, I don't know which one, just use another one. Sometimes they have issues with some browsers. Also sometimes the Kenyan system or that web page is down. So just try again 1 or 2 hours later, and then you might just find it work. So don't get stressed out. This is completely normal. If there's a problem, just go back again and then try and fill it out again. Okay, that is like all I want to say. Oh no, one more thing to the A-visa is, especially you need like a single entry visa. Like all the tourist visas you get is single entry. Which means, because I have many clients, they plan also going to Tanzania or they fly to Zanzibar. Now, if you do that, that is fine, but you cannot come back with the same visa. The moment you went out of the country, you have to reapply again for a new visa. So in case you fly to Zanzibar, you come back to Nairobi because your flight is from Nairobi, you have to get another A visa. Just note that, please. Okay, the next ones. Of course, another question is, what else? What apart do I need from the A visa? And right now, you are in luck. There is no other entry requirement you need, but of course, this can change any minute. Like, we had all these COVID things, and oh my god, there was so much to do with health certificate, and of course the COVID vaccines and PCR tests. All these things is not there anymore. So, which means that this is just right now, the moment I record right now and you see this video uploaded, it can be way later. So what I want you to do is, if you download the free Kenya travel checklist, then there is a link as well where always are included the newest entry requirements, because the government of course keeps on changing and updating the newest requirements. But for right now, as it is, only your online visa, that's enough. Plus one more thing, vaccines. Now the question is, yellow fever, is it necessary? Yes or no? So this really depends on the country you are coming from. If you are from Europe, for example, like myself and many of my clients, then you don't need a yellow fever vaccination. But if you come from a yellow fever risk country, or you have been recently traveled to one, for example, you're just coming from Tanzania or another African country where there's yellow fever, then you need to show it. Even if you travel to Kenya and then you go to Tanzania, you need to show proof of your yellow fever vaccination. But if you just come, for example, from Europe, you go to Kenya, you go back to Europe, there is no need for you to get one. Which of course still you are allowed to get one if you want to, but it's not a must, it's not a requirement. So also these informations, you find them online, just Google them, and then you get all the information if you're not sure if your country is actually a yellow fever risk country or not. But I hope this helped you answer. Then I recently had a client and they were like, oh man, Sinja, why did you not tell me earlier? And yes, I keep on mentioning, but there are so many things we are talking about that also sometimes I forget some things. So one thing when it comes to internet and to which provider to use, it's actually very simple in Kenya. We don't have many, but I happen to get the wrong one. So I just recommend here, if you want internet, go and get a local SIM card. By Safaricom, and you find this everywhere. It's like green written, a white font, Safaricom, M-Pesa, all these things. It only costs you like $1 to get a SIM card, and then you can upload yourself, you can buy bundles, and then you have internet everywhere. Because Wi-Fi in this country is a big problem. Like even in the 4 or 5 star hotels, sometimes you might find the Wi-Fi down, and your best bet is having your own bundles. That's still the best. And you can get them at the airport directly. You can buy a SIM card there, but not if you arrive at night or very early in the morning, because then these shops might be closed. Then you can get it from any mall. Like the best is to organize such things in Nairobi before you go to your safari. Maybe the first day when you're in Nairobi, before you have planned too many things, go to a mall, set it up, and then yeah, that's the best thing to do. You have internet wherever you are. And this brings me to the next question about money. And this is also a big question all the time, like, Sinja, which currency do you have? How much money should I carry? What should I do? Which credit card? And so on. So nowadays in Kenya, there's no problem to pay with credit cards. Like in all the hotels, your safari, I hope you have paid it up front. All the hotels, everything, most of the hotels, like the 3, 4, 5 star hotels, you can pay with credit card. Or even in good restaurant, you can pay with credit card. But you need cash if you want to do some shoppings, or if you, like especially in the streets, or you go to souvenir shops, and then you need Kenyan shillings. We don't pay in USD dollars in Kenya. Like your tour operator will charge you in USD dollars most likely, because the hotel's charging in USD dollars, the national parks entry fees, they're charging in USD dollars. But apart from that, our normal life, everything works in Kenyan shilling. So the best advice I give to everyone is like, just go. The moment you arrive in Kenya, go to an ATM and withdraw money in Kenya, and then of course you will get Kenyan shillings. But there's one problem, or slight problem, that you can only get a limit of, like, I think it's around $400 or even $350 right now, which is 40,000 Kenyan shilling in a day per ATM or per credit card. Of course, if you now want to pay a safari $2,000 at once, you will not get this money. So if you still have to pay a balance, just carry this money into the country. I think you can carry into this country up to 5,000 USD dollars without any problems. After that, yeah, there will be some challenges. How much should I tip my guide? Of course, now it comes to your safari and you'll be like, the only payment remaining is the tipping. And tipping on safaris is a big deal. You can tip in restaurants, you can tip like $1, $2, like 5% of the amount you're consuming. That is fine. And when it comes to safari, now of course, most likely you will have an expensive safari booked and your driver guide. Mostly you have one driver, which is also your driver guide. He's with you from A to Z, from beginning to end of your safari. So this person will get, that's an estimate, per day, 10 USD dollar per person. So if you're two, it's 15. But if you're saying, oh my God, this is too much, then of course you can still find your own way. But as a guideline, have for yourself $10 per person per day. Then now, backpack or suitcase? Another client asked me like, Sinja, which one should I use? And honestly, do what you feel like. Of course, if you are backpacking and you want to go like low budget and you travel a lot locally, like you want to take buses and all these things like public buses, then I recommend a backpack. Because traveling in Kenya locally with public transport can be very, very stressful and tiresome, so it's better you have everything in a backpack. But I have also seen travelers traveling with suitcases and they travel public, so whatever makes you feel more comfortable. But the moment you have your safari organized, like you have your own driver, your own car, I mean, this is mine, but you will have a Land Cruiser. The moment you have your own car, then there's enough space in that car just for you and your luggage. So whatever you want to carry, whatever is more comfortable for you, it's the best. Because at the end of the day in Kenya, and that's also one reason why I love just traveling here, even with my son, is that doesn't matter how much luggage you have, how heavy it is, you will always have people helping you carrying your luggage. Either it will be your driver, when you check into the hotels, they have their own guys. You will never find yourself carrying your luggage, not unless you want to. So in that way, that's why I'm saying, however you feel like is best for you. The only thing you have to maybe have back in your mind when it comes to how much luggage can I carry when you want to take domestic flights. Like if you're saying you're going on safari, then you take a flight there. So there's a limitation. Or if you're flying to the coast, let's say from Nairobi to Mombasa or to Diani, then there will be also a limit on that flight ticket. But there's always a possibility to book on a very small fee a second or to pay for overweight. So that one is very easy to handle if you want to do that. And then another question is like, okay, what else do I need to pack? Like, what is about mosquito nets or mosquito repellents? So I always recommend my clients, you don't need mosquito nets. Like anywhere you go in Kenya, if it's like a 3-star hotels, mosquito nets are provided. And if there are no mosquito nets, most likely it has a good reason. Most likely this area will not even have any mosquitoes. Like for example in Nairobi, we do have mosquitoes, but there's no malaria. So not every area in Kenya has the same risk of having mosquitoes and also having malaria. So there are huge differences depending on where you are in this country. So mosquito net, nope. Mosquito repellent, yes. Oh my God, mosquitoes are annoying as fuck. Sorry to say that. But they are, especially on safari in Masai Mara and then at the coast. Like you just need this to get this noise away from you, the noise of a mosquito or sleeping. So mosquito repellent, definitely yes. And I would recommend you can get it up front coming, or if you have time, you can just get it on your first day in Nairobi when you shop around in a mall. You make some shopping for snacks or something for the safari. You can find mosquito repellents in any supermarkets here in Kenya, and it's definitely way more cheaper than when you go and buy it on Amazon for like $20 or $30. Yep. My next tips I have is when you arrive in Kenya, get your airport transfer organized. Believe me, you don't want to come there overtired after your travels and then they are like, imagine you're walking out, you are just tired, you're excited that you got all your luggage, you're just happy you arrived. And then you are getting out of the airport and then you're surrounded by 10, 20, 30 people all like taxi, 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 annoying you like they want to take you to your place and then they're overcharging you and then you have to... Again, you don't want to be in a situation like that when you're overtired. If you don't mind, go for it. But my friendly advice is get an Uber, or the best is talk to your safari operator, the tour operator or the hotel where you have booked your first night and get an airport transfer booked so that they organize everything, and then you don't have to worry about anything apart from just getting to your bed, checking into your hotel and sleeping. Yeah, I can see these are some really valuable tips here. I hope you guys are taking notes. So the next, especially if you arrive in Nairobi or even in Mombasa, if you want to get around these two big cities, we have Uber here. So it's not necessarily that you need to pay for a taxi or one specific driver to take you from A to B and waiting for you the entire day or half of the day, which can be quite expensive. It's best you just Uber around, and it's pretty safe, pretty easy. They are everywhere. You don't have to wait for a long time. So I would just advise you downloading Uber if you don't have it on your phone yet, and then using Uber in Nairobi and as well in Mombasa. Everywhere else, it can be a problem. So it only works proper for Nairobi and Mombasa. Yeah. Good. I have a few more on my list. So one more thing I want to talk about as well is your safety and about your documents. A good advice is always to upload everything, like your passport, your insurance, whichever other card, your flight tickets, whatever you need on your phone. And that in case you don't carry your passport, you don't have to carry your passport all the time like your original. You can leave your passport in the hotel room. But if the police comes and controls you, or the immigration office, depending on where you are, we have to check up, so we have these controls. And then they will annoy you if you don't have a document. They will even tell you like, oh, I take you to jail, or this is a court case, you know this is illegal in Kenya, because at the end of the day, police is corrupt and they want to have money. So for your own safety, always have your documents in your phone, and in case of someone is harassing you, you tell them it's fine, just come with me to my hotel, I will show you the original one, and then you can provide your original the moment they're in your hotel. But they will see like, okay, they will not even follow you to your hotel, but just for you, which makes you feel more in peace and calm down. Also in case of course something gets stolen, it's the most important thing, you have your document online somewhere. Even in case your phone gets stolen, save them somewhere in a WhatsApp, in a Google Drive, somewhere on a safe place. Yeah, and when it comes to security or to something happening in Kenya, I know this is like a fear especially women have, or everyone have traveling in a foreign country, is that in case of something happens, and I'm not saying something is gonna happen, but just in case, your tour operator you have booked with, or your guide when you're on safari and he's your driver, something is wrong, he is always that person number one to call or to talk to. Don't be shy to ask for a favor, or don't be shy to ask, even like if you need something from the supermarket and you're on the way to Masai Mara, tell him, hey, can we get a wine? Can we get this? He's gonna stop. He's gonna take you to a liquor store. He's gonna buy your wine with you. This is your trip. This is your holiday. So you should be the one who's gonna be happy. So your driver is there to make you happy and support you. So you can ask him anything, even the tour operator you booked with. And in case you take me as a travel consultant, of course, I'm here for you. You can ask me anything, any question. And in case you still wonder, okay, Sinja, how can you help me plan your trip? That's very simple. Like either you download the free Kenya travel checklist. I think that's the only one actually. Download the free Kenya travel checklist, and inside there you will find a link for application for a free call with me or one of my team members. And then from there we can see and we can help you on how you can plan your trip in Kenya. Of course, there are so many more things and advices I have, but this is just like the most common points I noticed from the clients, previous clients, and just all the DMs I get, questions from you the moment you want to enter the country. So I know there's so much more here, so if you have still any questions, feel free, just comment down below. And yeah, I'm excited and I wish you a happy trip, and I'm super excited to see you in my next video.